This is amazing. Now we can use Orca 2 model to fine-tune questions and answers like this. You are able to feed in question and customize how we want to get the answer. That's exactly what we're going to see today. Let's get started. Hi everyone, I'm really excited to show you how to fine-tune Orca 2 model. This is a beginner's guide so that you can get started easily. I'm going to take you through step by step on how to do this. But before that, I regularly create videos in regards to artificial intelligence on my YouTube channel. So do subscribe and click the bell icon to stay tuned. Make sure you click the like button so that it can be useful for others. This is my configuration. First step, pip install pandas, Ludwig LLM, matplotlib, peft autogptq, and then optimum. Then click enter. Now let's create a file called app.py and then let's open it. Inside the file, import logging, import pandas as PD, YAML, Ludwig model, matplotlib. Next, we are going to enter the list of questions and answers, which we are going to train our model into. So I'm going to name it as QA pairs. So I have prepared these questions and answers. For example, this is how your data need to look like before training the model. For example, the question, who is the founder of Microsoft? And the answer, Bill Gates. And similarly, I'm going to add more questions and then more answers. The more data you provide, that means the model is more likely to respond as per the data provided in the similar style. Here only I'm giving few amount of data. If you give 1000, that means it's more likely it will follow your style and the way you respond. Next, defining the data frame. Now we need to find the size of the data, which is used for fine tuning. This is called sequence length. So I'm going to create a function called sequence length. This is a small function which gets the data frame. Data frame is nothing but your data in a different format. It is same like Excel sheet. Next, we are counting the number of characters and then finally plotting the graph. Plot sequence length data frame. So instead of showing the plot.show, we are going to save that in a file. And then finally, we are running this command. Now I'm going to run this code in your terminal, python app.py, and then click enter. And here's the sequence length which got stored. So we can see the maximum sequence length is around 80. So comfortably we can say the sequence length is equals 80. But if you have thousands of data, you can remove some outliers like these. You can mainly target the indents areas so that you can save your compute resource. Next, I'm going to create config for our Ludwig. Config is equals yaml.safe-load, and then I'm providing the configuration. So in the configuration, you are mentioning input features. That's the question. So if you see the data, that is the first column. Then output features answer. That is the second column. Next, we are providing general information like generation, and then model type is LLM. Base model is Orca 2 7 billion parameter model. We are quantizing, so it's 4 bits, and we are using LoRa adapter. The trainer is type Finetune, batch size 1, epochs 3. Now we are going to add the max sequence length here. This is the one which we have measured before. Next, let's define the model with Ludwig config, and then we can add the logging level is info. Next, we are going to train the model by running this function model.train and then passing the data frame which we have earlier in line number 68. Then we are providing the experiment name and the model name. Skip save processed input is equals true. Finally, two things. We are going to save the model into results folder. Next, we are going to predict after training. So we are getting the test data that is randomly chosen rows from the whole dataset. Now using the test dataset to model.predict. That will predict those datas. And finally printing those output for our reference. That's it. As a quick summary, we loaded the whole list of data into data frame. Then we calculated the sequence length using the plot sequence length function. Then use that sequence length in the config. And in the config, we mentioned the question answer as output, the base model name, and other configurations. Finally, we trained the model using model.train, and then we save the results. Now I'm going to run the code and see how it's training. In your terminal, python app.py, and then click enter. Here is a description of what's going to happen. Next, it's giving out the Ludwig configuration. Next, it's getting ready for pre-processing. It's dividing the data into 3 different things. One is for training the data, another one is for validation, another one is for testing. So this is the data set which we'll be testing towards the end and printing out the results. Here I can see it's loading the checkpoints. This is the Orca 2 model. Now I can see the model got loaded and the training is currently happening. I can see the train, validation and test different scores. It's still training, and finally it's done. It says finished and it got stored in this folder. Now these are the final tests which we ran. So by running who is the founder of Microsoft, it says Bill Gates. What is the tallest building in the world? Burj Khalifa. This is a small data set, so the accuracy or the style of response might not be as close to what you think, but still this is a good starting point. Just increasing the number of data you provide here to get much more accurate, better performing model. Finally, I'm going to push this model to Hugging Face. I'm going to run this code and then provide the path of the model where it got stored and then click enter. I can see the model uploaded to this path. I'm going to open this and here is the model which I've just pushed to Hugging Face. You can use this command to test the model again. That's it, as simple as that. Now you learned how to train Orca 2 model. I'm going to create more videos similar to this, so stay tuned. I hope you like this video. Do like, share and subscribe, and thanks for watching.